Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Haslar12 here, and today I'm really excited to share this video with you. It's my new custom tactic video that I've been using for a while now, and it's the best tactic I've used hands down on FIFA this year so far. Got told to use this formation once on stream. It's a 3-5-2, and I pretty much haven't looked back, to be honest. So we'll get straight on into it, no waffling. As you see, it is what it is, so I don't need to make any changes as we go through. I'll just briefly talk about the selection. So defensive style balanced. I do think press after possession loss or heavy touches work. It can work with this as well. Personally, for my play style, balance is perfectly fine for me. But do feel free to experiment if you do prefer to, put pressure on your opponents as and when. Width, because it's a 3 at the back, I just put it up slightly, just because I want the centre backs to be starting just slightly wider than naturally, just because obviously we haven't got those full backs that would usually be there in a 4 at the back formation. And depth I just dropped to 45 because that's just pretty much what I do with all my formations, and I seem to have no issues with that at all. Build up play, slow build up and possession. It's a combination that's been working really well for me in this FIFA, especially post patch. I know passing's been a bit inconsistent with people since they did an update, but I think it still works perfectly fine. It can go with balanced. I think I personally prefer slow build up, but balance is perfectly fine. It might even work well with fast build up or direct passing as well, but personally possession and slow build up, that's my favourite combination for my playstyle, but feel free to change it up if that's what you'd prefer. Width again, and just because it's a bit more, I know we've got 5 in the mid, so we've obviously got wingers that are playing, so I obviously want to try and make the most of that, but I also don't want to stretch them too much so that they're not involved in the play. So I'll just do the same as I did with the defensive one and put that up to 55. Players in the box, I have gone for 5, like I always go for 5. I've said before, you don't need to overload it massively because you'll have no one at the back to try and stop a counter attack, and you've got 2 strikers in this formation anyway, so they're going to be in the box as it is, which is more than enough when you consider you've also going to have a centre mid and a left or right mid also getting into the box too. Corners and free kicks, I just leave them on 1. Don't see the point of putting them up any higher than that, and I've said it millions of times before, you'll just leave yourself exposed to the counter attack. I know that they changed corners slightly so that obviously you've got more players back when you're on when you've got the setting down at 1, but to be honest I don't find it's made an awful lot of difference for my corners personally anyway. So there's the tactic. It is a 3-5-2 and it is an absolute dream. You can see from the team that I've got now, it's a little bit different to the team you'll see in the gameplay in a moment. But the gameplay was all recorded in the past 48 hours, so don't worry about that. It's not like dead old or anything. But yeah, the instructions themselves. So on my left centre forward, I've just got false 9 on him. He's the one that tends to be a little bit more physical, maybe not necessarily slower, just someone that you think could do a better job at holding the ball up and then bringing other players into play. That'll be his role. The next one, the other striker, sorry, is just getting behind, the one who's a little bit quicker, a bit nippy, and that's obviously Di Maria for me. In the video, it's Mohamed Salah. The cam, I've got him to stay forward and get in the box for cross. He's just going to be always getting in for those crosses. Hopefully he's sitting on the edge and making runs into the box for pullbacks and whatnot. And the stay forward is really good, so when you win the ball back, he's going to be sat just by the halfway line, ready to pick the ball up and start a counter attack. Right mid and left mid are the same. They've got to come back on defence and get in the box for the cross, which is perfectly fine. Again, with counter attacking, it actually works quite well because you'll find that either your CDM or one of the CDMs or the centre backs will win the ball back, and then you'll have, because you've got them on come back on defence, they're going forward as soon as you win the ball. So you've got runners off the ball or wide, and then you've also got Ben Rama, your cam, who's sitting quite far forward too. Your 2 CDMs, I've got one of them as cut passing lane, stay back while attacking and cover centre. This is generally your more defensive CDM who will have less of an effect going forward. Fred's a really good all-round player, so I have him as my slightly more attacking one, but Guardiola obviously doesn't have a lot of pace, not great at shooting, he's just good at being there at the back and winning the ball. So for my other one, I've got cut passing lanes, get forward and cover centre. I want him supporting that attack, I want him making runs from deep, and I want him to be a bit of an outlet if we're struggling to break a defence down. The centre backs, I don't touch any of them. I've never felt the need to. I don't really know what you do with them. I wouldn't have them as play as a striker, for example, or making overlap runs. I don't know why anyone would do that, but feel free to experiment if you want to. And the keeper, I've finally converted. I've got comes for crosses and sweeper keeper as well. So there are the instructions, guys, the tactic as well. So I'm going to head over into some gameplay and talk a little bit how the tactic works and how to get the most of it. I'll see you there. So then, guys, into the gameplay we go, and there's one thing you're going to notice with this tactic. It is just goals, goals, goals. going forward, you're just constantly overloading your opposition. It's so much fun to play with. You will find yourself every now and then stretched on the counter attack. It's just the way it is. You can't stop everything in FIFA. You can't constantly be, conceding no goals and scoring 5. It's just never going to be like that every game you play. What the tactic's going to do, though, it is going to give you so many options when you go forward. Now, obviously, I said I play with slow build-up and possession, but if you watch the clips, especially the ones like this, maybe a bit longer, that show, from defence to attack, you'll notice the players are making runs off the ball at all times. And no slow build-up and possession, people may be put off because they might hear that and think, oh god, players are just going to pass it sideways, no one's going to be making runs forward. But trust me, they are. If you watch the gameplay, like look at Icardi there, he's through 1-on-1, he is playing as a false 9 instruction with slow build up and possession, and he's still making those runs in behind. You do have to do some of the runs manually, obviously. Whenever I'm getting the ball to Icardi or Salah, or well, Di Maria, I am most of the time pressing L1, especially with the striker who's got getting behind instructions, just because I want them to make sure that they're definitely making those runs. But it's naturally something that they're going to be doing anyway. In terms of the defending, it works again really, really well because you've got those 2 CDMs and it's really, really solid. When you've got your 2 midfielders on come back on defence as well, you find that you're creating a pretty decent shape at the back that your opponents not necessarily can't break down, because like I said, you will concede, but it's going to be a lot harder for them to break down than like a natural 3 at the back formation. The other thing that you need to consider with this formation and tactic is that your wingers are going to get tired pretty quick. They're going to be running up and down, so make sure you've got either wingers with high stamina or some decent players that can come off the bench to replace them if you're going into extra time or something in foot champs. I always find that Zaha, especially, he needs bringing off, and obviously I think I've got Vinicius Junior, who comes off the bench sometimes if I need someone obviously with extra pace and a bit more stamina to get up and down. But aside from that, the tactic is pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty easy to use. There's not an awful lot that you really need to think about other than making sure your players are making runs off the ball, which, like I said, they're going to do most of the time on their own anyway. If you find that you are struggling to get your players making runs off the ball, do feel free to change from slow build-up and possession to maybe, I think direct passing worked pretty well. Just again, with my play style, it wasn't something that I personally preferred, but it is something that worked well enough for people to use it in foot champs. And I play in elite division in rivals, so I'm playing against pretty good players, and I'm not having an awful lot of issues with the runs off the ball. But yeah, guys, we're going to come towards the end of the video now. I do appreciate it if you've stuck around and you've watched to the end, or if you've just watched in general. If you could, then please do drop a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. It would mean an awful lot to me. But yeah, this is going to be the final clip. The guy does eventually leave at 7-1. Can't say I blame him. But yeah, goals. This formation's brilliant. Give it a go. Let me know how it works out for you. And I'll catch you all next time.